Good evening. Police say the 21-year-old admitted to murdering a hotel housekeeper last Saturday. Then 2 days later, a man who gave him a ride.
APD says if he hadn't slipped up, it could have been the start to a chilling wave of violence. News 13's Amanda Goodman is live in the Newsplex with the story. Amanda?
Jessica, Dick, Fontayne Hopkins told police he didn't know his victims, but that he killed them the same way, so police would know it was the work of the same killer.
And this is one of those cases that we don't see happen very often in the city of Albuquerque, where there's no relationship, no contact between the victim and the offender.
APD says Fontayne Hopkins, seen here in court today, had no reason to kill two people, but he did. Detectives say this is Hopkins in the lobby of the Plaza Inn on Saturday, minutes after his first murder. Hopkins told police he found a maid cleaning a room on the 5th floor.
He was armed with a knife. He did threaten her with a knife and did sexually assault her.
APD says the maid fought back, so Hopkins strangled her with a telephone cord, then stabbed her. Hopkins was picked up by police off the streets on Monday for questioning. He gave a DNA sample and was sent on his way.
At that point in time, he was just somebody who had matched the description, and because of his cooperative nature, he was released.
Hopkins told investigators he left the police station downtown and walked to a bus stop where a stranger offered him a ride. He says they went back to the man's apartment near Yale and Gibson where they drank beer and had sex.
He was upset over that encounter actually taking place.
Police say Hopkins bludgeoned the man with a rock. Hopkins told the detective he put a telephone cord around his victim's neck the same way he did to the maid because he wanted the detective to see a pattern.
In this one, it looks like maybe he might have done that on purpose, just because he knew it was doing wrong and eventually knew he was going to get caught.
APD says it was a fingerprint on a beer can at the second murder scene and an informant that supplied the evidence to connect Hopkins to both murders. Jessica, back to you.
Okay, Amanda, police aren't sure at this point if Hopkins, who grew up in West Virginia, has a history of mental illness. He has a domestic violence arrest on his record and a handful of charges for petty crimes.